Lines here, bringing you the brand new video. And today we got some new Link monsters and some Borrelsword and Rocket support coming out of Cybernetic Horizon. We have 4 cards to talk about today, and I haven't really gone over them, so this is going to be kind of like a first reaction to me as well. So let's just jump right into it. So the first card we have here is Borrelsword Dragon. It's a Link 4 Dark Dragon Link effect monster with 3000 attack, and the Link arrows are top center, middle left, and bottom center. And the Link materials are at least 3 effect monsters. The first effect is that it can be used for a battle, which is pretty cool. But I mean, it's not terribly relevant. It just makes it a little bit more difficult to get over. The second effect is once per turn, you can target 1 attack position monster, change it to defense position. Also, this card can make a second attack during each battle phase this turn. Your opponent's cards and effects cannot be activated in response to this card's effect. This effect is actually really good, simply because it allows you to push for more damage. It allows you to go into, and it doesn't have to attack and kill the monster, kind of like BLS does. It has to attack and kill a monster in order for it to get to the second attack. It just gets the second attack upon changing the monster to defense position. And you can also target your own monsters to do this, which is really good. And your opponent not being able to activate in response to this is pretty good. The third effect is once per turn, when this card declares an attack on a face monster, you can activate this effect. This card gains attack equal to half of the monster's attack, and if it does, that monster's attack is halved. So kind of like, what is that card called? Xyz Rebellion Dragon. That's what I'm talking about. It kind of does that, where it has the attack of the monster, and then it gains half of that monster's original attack, which is really good because it pushes for a lot of damage. I don't know why I just can't get the entire attack, because we do exactly the same thing. But I guess if you wanted to, I guess if you wanted to change it to something else, it'd be really interesting to see how this would work. But I mean, honestly, it's a very good effect still. You're probably going to be playing this card for the first effect, or the second effect. I mean, the second effect is absolutely insane. The second card here is Mini Borrelsword Dragon. Link 2 Dark Dragon Link effect monster, 800 attack, with the arrows being middle left and middle right. Very similar to Proxy Dragon. The Link materials are 2 rocket monsters, and you can only use the first effect of this card per turn. It only has 1 effect, so let's just jump right into this first effect and only effect. If this card is in your graveyard and a Borrel Link monster is on your field, you contribute 1 Link 3 or lower monster special in this card, and if you do, it cannot be used as Link material for a monster with the same name with the same number of Link arrows as the attributed monster. So for example, if you attribute, let's say, like a Decode Talker for this effect, you won't be able to link up with it to Link 3, I guess. It's still pretty cool. I don't think it's that good though. I do like the artwork. If we had a clearer picture of the artwork, it'd be really cool. But I mean, overall, it's still kind of a decent card. I think in Rockets, you'd probably play one of this card simply because it is a Link 2. It is pretty easy to summon for the most part, and it just overall seems like it's a very good monster just to go into, other than like maybe Proxy Dragon. But I think even then, I think maybe Proxy Dragon's still just a little bit better. But you know, it's neither here nor there. We have an equip spell. This is Borrel Reload. It's like I said, it's an equip spell, and it has 2 effects. The first effect is activate this card by targeting 1 rocket monster in your graveyard, special summon it, and if you do, banish it when it leaves the field. Also equip this card to it. So it gets it's a premature burial for the archetype, which is pretty good. We've seen how good that is in Spirals, so perhaps this is going to be the same as it is. It's pretty good. The second effect is if this card is sent to the graveyard because the equip monster was destroyed, you draw 1 card. So it kind of just replenishes itself. So this card is actually really good because it allows you to go into your graveyard, and if that monster just somehow happens to be sent to the graveyard, or if this card is just sent to the graveyard, you just immediately replace it. So like ideally, you summon I think Metal Rocket, and then you equip with this card, and then you link summon with it, and then this card would be sent to the graveyard. You get to draw a card. That's pretty good. And this one, I'm actually going to go by the OCG name because I think it's better than its English name as Link Death Turret, or Link Turret. It's a continuous trap. Three effects. The first effect is when this card resolves, place 4 counters on this card. We'll see what the counters do. Each time you would take battle damage, place 1 counter on this card, so it can get more counters. The third effect is during your main phase 2, you can remove 1 counter from this card, then target 1 rocket monster in your graveyard to special summon it, but have its effects negated. Also banish it when it leaves the field. You cannot special summon monsters from your extra deck. During the turn you activate this card effect, it's Darkling monsters. So it's not specifically just like rocket monsters or world monsters. It's just Darkling monsters. I think Saryuja is dark. Dekotarka is dark. And I think Summon Sorceress is also dark, so it does let you do that, which is not bad. So I think it's not a terrible effect, but the fact that you only activate this during your main phase 2 kind of defeats the purpose of it being a trap card. Plus, your opponent is probably going to immediately get rid of this as soon as they see this card because of the high impact of the effect of what it does. Especially summoning a monster, even if its effect is negated and it gets banished, that's still pretty valuable. So preventing your opponent from just continually doing this over and over again, it's kind of, your opponent's just going to stop it just immediately. So this effect is I guess at very worst just decent, but I don't think you would play this card in your rocket deck. That being said, so yeah, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a comment in the comment section down below. I'll see you guys in the next video. This has been Shit on the Lens, signing